No. 6 o'clock, seeing how it is, make a motion to open the meeting and approve the agenda for meeting of the Scituate Board of Health Wednesday, October 16, 2019, Selectmen's Hearing Room, 6 o'clock.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let me call the order, accepting of agenda, scheduled items. Discuss road septic design, hearing 38 Inner Harbor Road. Grady Engineering representing homeowner requests for installation of a septic system requiring local upgrade and variances. How you doing today?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Excellent.
My name is Darren Grady. I'm from Grady Consulting. I'm here with Jane Everett, the owner. What we'd like to do at 38 Inner Harbor Road is to install a 1,500-gallon septic tank to replace an existing cesspool here and a leaching field that's 40 feet long by 15 feet wide. The lot is on Peggotty Beach, and it's odd-shaped lot. With the house in the position it is, it leaves a little room for a septic. So we are asking for certain local upgrades. I'll read them off to you. We're asking for a reduction in system soil soil absorption system location setbacks to the property line from state and local requirements from 10 feet to 5.5 feet. That's right in here. We're asking for a reduction in soil absorption location setbacks to the cellar wall from 20 feet to 6.7 feet. That one's right, yeah, actually 6.5 feet. Reduction in system septic tank location setbacks to the cellar wall from 10 feet to 2.5 feet. That's right here. We're asking for reduction in location, soil absorption system location setbacks to a wetland from 50 feet to 0 feet. We are on a barrier beach, which is considered a wetland. We're requesting us to allow one deep test hole for the repair. There wasn't enough room for two. And we're asking you to consider the above ground septic system or septic tank economically not feasible to do because of the cost considerations on it. We're in a velocity zone, and Title V requires us to put the septic tank raised above the velocity zone. In this instance, we did a design, and we provided just a copy, and we sent it out to about 3 contractors. This is the design for the above ground septic tank. Pretty much it puts it up on the deck in here, and it allows it to go. We're above the velocity zone. It would meet Title V, but the cost that we got back came in with an average cost of that's engineering costs. Average cost is $75,000. The house value is $599,000, and DEP put out a guidance on this to show you how to determine economically feasibility, and it was 10% of the value of the house. So the $75,000 is greater than the $59,900. So we're asking the board to allow us to put it in the ground because of the septic tank above the velocity zone is not economically feasible.
I don't think I'm too worried about that because it's an existing dwelling. There's no major, it's not like it got blown down in a storm and you're repairing the whole house.
Perfect.
But then I would not even consider a variance, but it's an existing structure. I mean, it's kind of dealt the hand you dealt with.
Well, with that, if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I just don't know, so the water line's right here, right down here, right?
Water line comes into this house right here.
Right here?
And we
No, I mean like the
Oh, it's up in the
This
road
is the,
here.
is this one of the houses that sits towards the end?
Yes, so if you're driving in from the public parking,
Mhm.
this is the end of as far as you can drive right
The
here.
water's down here.
Correct. So the water main's up in here.
So this is not gonna affect, like, there's some really severe storms.
Yes, there are severe storms. There will be some maintenance required to keep that covered. Right now, when I went out there, the grades were pretty much, they met what my design
Mhm.
was. They'll just have to make sure they maintain those to cover the system.
So how would that be done? Are you having
Um,
to have sand?
We could install like a benchmark, so if you see this exposed, then you have to cover it more. Obviously, the sands shift in here, sometimes they accumulate, and sometimes they disappear. We have the same situation on Hummerock, which
Mhm.
we're always putting in systems in there.
Just approved one down in Hummerock, speaking of that, which was on the side of the house.
No,
I was
know.
not thrilled with it
Yeah.
because it's the same thing. Is this a wood foundation?
That is a poured foundation.
Yeah. They can wash right out, but are you the homeowners or?
Here.
Right, right there, yeah.
Jane Everett, 38 Anna Harbor Road.
Yeah, did the engineer explain all this to you and things? There was a property on Humrock, and I don't wanna scare you, but it's just, you get nervous. There's only so much you can do, and you're doing the right thing. We appreciate that, you're upgrading the system. But, I guess you can't go out front here because you're getting too close to the wetlands. It's the thing of when you get storms, like, it's a maintenance thing. The system can get washed out.
I take in sand.
Yeah,
I never lose sand.
you never lose sand.
I
Okay,
never
yeah.
lose sand.
All right, well, I just bring it up because we had one house, it was before you were here, but they lost their system like 4 times.
Yeah, no, this is.
And I felt like all of a sudden they were looking at us like we're bad guys. I'm like, it's the nature of the beast of owning a property on the ocean like that. It's nothing, we try to have them designed where they're less likely to be washed out. And, like, I'd prefer it
Yeah, back there.
back there,
If the town's water main wasn't there, then I would consider it.
yeah. Yeah. And where's the system for this house?
Right next to it.
There was no records in the Board of Health when I went out, but I know it's somewhere right in here.
That's something too, I don't know if that's in our local regs, when you're asking for variances for septic systems with proximity to the property line, that's supposed to be shown on the plan.
And I wanted to do that,
Yeah.
but there was nothing on record.
All right, maybe you should put a note on there then that says no record. Because my concern is, and again, I'm probably explaining myself, you already know the answer, I don't want the system you're putting in to affect the neighbor's system. That's why I'm not trying to bust bones.
No problem.
Yeah, you hate to have 2 of them right on top of each other. There should be some separation,
Okay.
yeah. So maybe a note just added. I wouldn't hold that up for you to do that, but just something that, no record available, so. Kind of CYA, I guess. You can interpret that 2 ways. And it's, I guess this one here, I'm not really too concerned about this one, but, and did you put a rubber membrane in with the foundation? Is that necessary?
I did not. We could.
I mean, is that usually standard when you're too close to the foundation?
It's not a habitable space. It's almost like a garage under.
Yeah,
Its floor is dirt as well. You
Yeah.
could park a car in there, but yeah, again, it's not habitable space. The habitable space is, it's much higher than this system.
yeah.
Top foundation's like 17, and the grade down here is like 10, so it's like 7 feet up in the air. So, if you want the barrier, we can do it. They'll have to squeeze it in there right around the system.
Yeah, I think that's usually standard on
Okay.
a foundation, because not saying what you're doing with it, the next person might do something different, and it might not be legal, but they may do it, and it's more for protection. If there was a leak, the rubber membrane keeps any fluid from going into the foundation. that's away from the piping, so that's, where's the water line going in?
It comes in.
There you go. Yeah, here's your water gauge. Here's your line coming, so the meter must be right there. See, I proposed to come in through the front and come in through the floor of the garage.
Right.
And bring it back up to the meter. Okay. That's a lot better for you too. Yeah. Your water line's running close to your existing cesspool. So if you had a leak in your water pipe, it could get cesspool water in it.
Continuing.
Contaminate your drinking water, so that's a plus. This is a good thing. This is why we're happy you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. It's better for everybody. We don't want anybody getting sick.
So this design is strictly driven by cost?
The septic tank portion of it, yes. The leaching field wouldn't change if the septic tank was up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you need? A little pump tank and then the septic tank to gravity feed into the,
Yeah, and oddly enough, the pump would have to be below the velocity zone anyway to capture everything.
yeah.
So it's almost,
You put one in to save one.
right.
Yeah, so it's not, you know, and like I said before, this is an existing house. I can't see that extra burden on an existing house. Now, if it had been burned by a fire or, God forbid, or got wiped out during a storm, different scenario. Now you're starting from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have no problem with that. Are there any butters or anybody that,
We got the other cards.
everybody's cool? You guys have any comments?
We just had one comment from the review regarding the slope breakout calculations. Review said it did not meet the breakout elevation at the beginning of the septic system, so they would have to look at that.
We have a poly barrier anyway, so.
You have the barrier in
Yeah. So we're good there? You guys are good?
there. We didn't have any other comments.
It's in a tough spot,
And again,
and
it's
it's the best you
related-
can do under conditions, you know? It's,
Yeah.
like you said, it's an existing facility, and
And again, it's related to 15.405 that, in determining whether full compliance is feasible, the approving authority should appropriately consider not only the physical possibility as dictated by the condition of the site, but also the economic feasibility of the upgrade cost, so.
Yeah. With the poly
Well,
barrier-
that said, you gotta do the best we can, but we're happy you came before and happy you're fixing it. And I'd rather have residents not be afraid to come in here and not fix their septic systems. I wanna help them, because it's for the benefit of the community. So, again, thank you. So, if you have no further comment, I'll, what you guys do?
I already gave it to him. I actually had one other.
Yeah.
We put in the poly barrier, I put in
Go
another
ahead.
variance.
Did I give you the wrong one?
To allow me
Yeah.
to do it less than 5 feet.
Did I give you the continue?
So my poly barrier is only gonna be like 2 feet to keep it on the lot. A lot of times you'll have to dig out and
The
you'll.
polyhouse on the button next to the foundation.
Okay, I'll get it along the foundation then. I'm gonna need.
Wherever it's within 10 feet, you know, you got
Yeah.
6'5" here, and it looks like it spreads out.
That will serve as an indicator too when you see it. That'd be the first thing you see.
Mhm.
I was thinking of doing it 2 feet around the whole thing. I'll get it in there.
Yeah.
Poly barrier.
I think
Yeah.
we have it on there on the, I think in the bottom, if you read the bottom, it says pending conservation and any
Oh, okay.
comments
Yeah.
they have, as well as the Board of Health
Yeah.
changes. But you can add the poly barrier.
All right, in regards to 38 Inner Harbor Road, I move to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrades requested. 1, reduction setbacks to the property line from 10 feet to 5.5 feet. 2, reduction soil absorption system location setback to the cellar wall from the required 20 to 6.7 feet. 3, reduction in septic tank location setback to the cellar wall from required 10 feet to 2.5 feet. 4, reduction in soil absorption system location setback to wetland from the required 50 feet to 0 feet. 5, reduction in system location setback to a water supply line from required 10 feet to 4.0 feet. 6, 1 deep hole, 7, poly barrier, which was applied. All in favor?
Second, yeah. All in favor?
Thank you very much. All set.
All set? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night. See you later.
Jay, you know when you go to conservation? I'm sorry, when you go to conservation?
Darren just told me the 21st.
Okay, I just wanna.
I didn't get a notification.
So we have to wait till there, to see if they.
Greg, are you still sailing?
I
Yeah.
couldn't hear 'em.
No, came out of the water
Yeah, they
last week.
checked that.
So it's-
Fix
So
it.
But you're good. Yep, you're good.
My son was swimming
Fine.
today.
Was he?
Go home and have a drink.
Pretty insane.
Stronger than water.
Yes.
This is, Karen, this is my other realtor, this is Joan.
I dropped here too.
97 Blue Hill.
All right, discuss vote septic system design hearing, 97 Booth Hill Road. Morrison Engineering representing homeowner request for installation of a septic system requiring local upgrade. All right.
All right. Gregory Morse for the record. Representing John Burns, the property owner. This is a septic system repair project at 97 Booth Hill Road. The system out there is a very old system. It failed a Title V inspection. The house is currently on the market. It's a 2-bedroom house. If familiarizing you with the plan, Booth Hill is at the bottom of the page. The house is right here. It's a rather small lot. Property line is in black. You can see the existing system is kind of here in the side yard with a little leaching field in the back. Out front, there's utilities and trees. Out back, off locus, is a wetland shown here in blue. The backyard is the only place we really have available on this site to site a system. What we've proposed is an advanced system. It's a Hoot aerobic treatment tank, and it's a GeoFlow drip dispersal leaching system. So it's, you know, the highest quality effluent coming out of it. It requires one local upgrade approval, and that's the setback to the wetlands. The requirement is that the system be outside the 50-foot buffer. We cannot comply with that, and we've proposed the system at 22.4 feet from the wetlands. Conservation has approved this plan. We're seeking only one local upgrade.
Any questions? No,
No, just taking it in, looking at it. So basically, you got another shoehorn here. Gotta squeeze it in.
Yeah, the road right here.
Yeah, there's no room on this site. It's tight. So the backyard, if we move the shed or eliminate the shed, gives us a little bit of room. And then the backyard is all kind of lawn right now, so it would go back as lawn.
Yeah,
It's the logical place to put it.
yeah. No, I think as long as you feel you've done the best you can, and that's what it is, and that's what it is. I don't see any issue here. Did you guys have any
No.
comment or any,
No, we don't have any issue
issues,
with it.
problems?
It's-
We
no,
recommend
There's
it.
no other place.
It is what it is.
To put
It's-
it,
what
so-
it is.
It is what it is. That's where it has to go.
He's putting in a system that's gonna be.
It's gonna be, yeah.
good for that.
Yeah, better than what we did.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't have any other question. You have any other questions? There's no abutters here, so no one else. That's it.
Okay, I move to grant the request for 97 Blue Hill Road to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrade requested: reduction of the system location setbacks from the bordering vegetated wetlands from the required 50 feet to the proposed 22.4 feet.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, on the last item on the agenda is the discuss vote reconsideration of the farmer's market application fee.
Yes.
We
We-
sent you a letter from the Winters Market, person that organizes that. There's a letter there, and we also sent it to you.
It's kind of like all over the place,
No, I haven't, no.
and,
So,
I mean, I honestly think that, you know, you can look to reconsider and say, you know what, we've reconsidered it, but it is what it is. It's $75. We're not gonna please everybody. It's $75 for the one fee for the whole year, and you can go to the winter and the summer, and if you only wanna go to the winter and it's only 5 weeks or 4 weeks, cause it's only once a month, then it's still $75. There's nothing we can do. When you look at the letter, we're not in this to make money. If they want to lower prices on table fees to rent. I'm not sure what they get, but I'm sure they get a pretty decent amount for a table. And I don't want to speculate or say what I think it is, but,
yeah.
Yeah, I get that concerns as a small business owner. I mean, you got weather things, you got this, you got that, but I think we looked at it in a pretty judicial way.
yeah, I think so too.
And thought it over, and it was nice to see the letter, but it was too bad that somebody couldn't come and represent to bring it forward, so I mean, I'm not really,
So if they have
Yeah.
20 in the summer and 5 in the winter markets, and we're saying 20 in the summer because sometimes they close some of them because of rain, so that's 25. It's really $3 every farmer's market for a Board of Health permit, so it's still, you know,
A bargain.
not that.
yeah. And I think we heard somebody might say it might deter people. Well, maybe it'll encourage some of the winter people to come and join in the summer.
Yeah,
Get the most out of their fee.
Yeah, some of the summer people would have in on the winter.
Yeah,
They,
get more bang for your buck,
yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I think because now they're organized by 2 separate people, it's a little confusing for a lot of the vendors, but, I mean,
Do you feel comfortable leaving it where it is without
I do.
Mr. White's
I do.
input? I have no problem. I don't
Okay, good.
feel offended either.
Okay.
I think what we did before was fine, and just leave it as such. And if they want to come before, I wouldn't say no.
right.
But I don't think a letter's going to do it, and I don't think, I think we thought about it, so.
Okay. On the director's report, we have 17 new septic plans under 45-day review. We have 2 revised septic plans under 45-day review. 11 sets of plans are waiting for engineering revisions. 6 sets are waiting Concom review. We have 8 as-built for private wells under 30-day review. We currently have 17 failed systems. Scituate is still at moderate risk for triple E. We have actually had our 12th confirmed human case of triple E in the state. Those 12 cases are out of a little over 580 actual humans that presented themselves and were tested. Out of those 580, 12 have come back positive, and we've had 3 deaths in the state so far. So it is, you know, we want to make sure people are aware until we get that first really good frost. Hopefully it'll be coming before Halloween. But until we get that good frost, we just want to make sure that people can take the appropriate precautions to protect themselves. We have started our flu clinics. We had our first one last Monday, October 7th, right here in the Selectment Room. We had close to 200 residents come in and get their flu shots, which is great. We have another one scheduled for Friday, November 8th, from 10 to 11, and from 12:30 to 1:30 down at St. Mary's Parish at 2 Edward Foster Road. Again, it's open to any Scituate residents over 18 years of age, and we want you to remember to bring any and all of your insurance cards, because we will get reimbursed through the state, and that money will go back into the revolving fund account. We have had a couple of festivals. We had our Harvest Moon Festival on October 7th over at the Mill Wharf. We had 10 restaurants participate in that. We have the Fall for Scituate this Sunday in North Scituate. We have about a dozen vendors signed up for that. And then the Board of Health continues to work with other departments within the town on emergency preparedness. We actually had a shelter meeting today that we participated in, just to make sure that residents are aware of the winter is coming, and make sure that everybody has their own, personal emergency preparedness plan for when the time comes, so they're not
We were
depending
close
on
last
us.
week.
Yeah.
If that was a lunar tide, that could have.
It come up a little, yeah, I drove down Hummerock, and it was snowing a little bit down there with the tide coming in.
Yeah, it was with all the foam, yeah.
Yeah,
But that was an 8.8, that was like astronomically low tide.
yes.
That could have been
It came up pretty good.
problematic if it was a.
It came up really, it came up.
Yeah.
Right on Peggotty, I could see how far it came up.
Yeah, it starts making you think again, oh boy.
I'm down far enough.
Oh,
So, but, yeah, we want to make sure that residents have their own plan. We don't want to have them rely on us. If they do need us, we are going to be there. We'll have the shelters open, but we really want to make sure that people have their own preparedness plans also. It's much nicer staying at a relative's house than it is in a shelter where you're not going to have the same accommodations.
Have you been familiarized with running the shelter program and?
I
all of that?
have been, I'm familiar with it, the way that we ran it in Quincy. It is pretty much now that the fire department basically oversees the shelter program now, where we're more support.
Yep.
That's how it was in Quincy, so I'm really familiar with how it is. And at the meeting today, we went over, how we check people in with the computer, with the laptop, so we know where people came from, the address where they came from, how many people came from there, so that when we need to finish after-action reports, we have all that information available.
Just out of curiosity, how often was Quincy, did they get hit, Quincy get hit by
We,
a tornado to like?
we opened up a shelter. We opened up a lot of warming shelters in the summertime for heat.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, only if we lost power. If you lost power for an extended period of time, more than, say, 7 or 8 hours, then we'd open up one of the shelters and it would be mainly for people to come in either to warm or to charge their phones. If they had any type of, heat at their house, whether it was a gas stove or a wood stove or a pellet stove, for the most part, people would stay at their properties to monitor it. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's probably gonna be the way it is here in Scituate for the most part. People are hardened, they've been here their whole lives, they know what to expect, they know when they have to get out and when they can stay. So it's pretty similar now,
Yeah,
which makes it easier.
yeah. I know some people have to get out because they gotta get out.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
some people have to get out just because the water's coming in.
exactly, that's what I
And,
mean.
yeah,
It's-
they don't have a choice. And
Yeah.
the people down at Hummerock, for the most part, they know that area. The same thing when you get down into Minot's Light in that area there. People know when they have to get out.
Yeah.
I know my parents knew when they have to get out. My mother would only, she stayed for the no-name storm, and that was enough. And the water didn't even come all the way down, but I'm out of here, she said. I don't need to be being rescued by the firemen. Not that I don't like firemen.
No.
So, but we do work with all the departments, and the communication is fantastic.
Cool, season is upon us.
It
Well, that's
is.
good, so everybody's on board, everybody's communicating, everybody's working together, so, awesome.
Do we have nothing to be signed, invoices?
Yep.
Holy pile.
Yeah, okay, I got pens.
Peter Carapella.
He's our,
One of the perk.
he's a board, he used to be the board of health agent in Marshall.
Oh,
Retired.
did he
Yeah,
retire?
he's doing
Yeah.
perks,
How long ago did he retire?
About, I think the beginning of the year,
Huh,
around March, April, around there.
yeah.
Yep.
I was just in there.
Yeah.
But that would be March or April.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him. I've known Peter for years.
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
but-
he's contracted to help us with that, to be a park witness.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
recognize
what
the
a
name.
resource. What a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
As smart as a whip.
Yep.
Oh, that's, Marshfield's lost a
Again.
great asset, yeah. I think there's two that I signed.
Yeah.
Does Doug have to sign these still? Oh, okay. Okay.
She's the one.
She smoke yet?
You feel like you're buying a house?
Yeah.
It's just because we were in between so many meetings.
There's two something in somewhere. That's it. Need any more?
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you. We good?
Yep.
All right.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn. Second.
Fine. All in favor?
Sign off, sign out.